As discussed at the beginning in relation to the email print destination, there are many pieces of information on the generated email message that standard FO sets to certain hard-coded values. Everyone who uses any email client is aware of some of these elements, such as email body, BCC field, attachments, and similar. That is because our email client offers them to us while we are composing our email messages. But there are even more email message fields that are automatically set by your email client, and in a business application like FO, we might benefit from the possibility to explicitly specify them. Here I have drawn some of them. For example, reply to address and bounce to address, they're by default equal to the email address of the sender, but in a business scenarios, you might want to use something different. Email sender display name set by your exchange. We will see on the example how to modify it and where will it appear. Read receipt, delivery receipt, by default they are not. This one is not requested. This one depends on the server settings. And message priority by default goes as a normal, but maybe sometimes you would want high or low message priority. So let's see some of these settings in my application, and because now the previous group of fields were somehow related to the fields that you see in your email client, and email print destination is the mostly equivalent to your email client. That's why we had them on the print destination, but these fields don't really belong to email client, so we decided to put them on a report specific setup. So I will go into the setup for sales invoice, and here you will recognize most of these fields from my previous drawing. For example, email sender display name. As you can notice here, I used some company specific settings, and I said if I'm printing from my USMF company, I want this to be a sender display name. So let's go and do one thing. Here I want to see this preview before print. It's kind of equivalent of this open email before sending, but I wanted just to demonstrate that. So let's print once again through print management and check what's going to happen. So this is result of saying preview before print, and now I can continue or cancel printing, and here I want to get that mail. It's almost exactly the same as in the previous case. The only difference is that when I said download email, it was really prepared email for sending, so I was able to open it in my browser, in my email client, and to send it, while this one is really just a copy of the email that will be sent in my name if I say continue printing. That's why I cannot send it from here, but I can preview it, and here you will see some useful things. For example, email sender display name. So this one comes from that setting, and it will also appear in the same way on the recipient side. Let's see what else did we specify here. This would be reply to address and bounce to address, so when the recipient hits reply, or if the email is bounced, this one will go to the default sender, which is the sender, and this one will go to this email. Then if this is empty, then no read receipt will be requested, but if you enter some email address here, then recipient will get that dialog asking for read receipt, and if he says okay, yes, send back the read receipt, it would go to the address specified here. Delivery receipt, this is the default value that mail server decides if the delivery receipt should be sent, but you can also override it with some of these settings. And finally, what would be the message priority? You know, when you in your client create a new message, and then you have a possibility to say that it's going with a high or low priority, while normal is default value. Maybe it will be interesting for you to do it for some chasing letters. Okay, so let's go back and see. Okay, as demonstrated, the solution for this challenge is to provide the possibility to configure these advanced email message parameters. And what are the customizations required? First, you need this form for configuring the describe information, and it's nice to have the possibility to do it also per company. And then, obviously, your developers need to implement a logic that reads these values and applies them on the prepared email message. These are not very often required features, but they can be useful for some businesses, so it is at least a good idea to be aware of this functionality.